Loren's Neovision Awakening is one of the best Neovision Awakenings in the game, period. She's just that good, guys. So thanks for spending that time here today as we go over this unit, why she's good, what you're going to be doing with her, all of those great things. So let's get right into it for you with Loren. We're going to be going over this 5-star base character that has, like we just talked about, that Neovision Awakening. Her Brave Shift form is available on turn 1 right away. You can stay in it as long as you want, and you can swap back and forth between them. At a small cooldown here, cooldown to normal form 3 turns, cooldown to Brave Shift 2 turns after that. So you can kind of flip-flop, not too bad there. The turn limit doesn't really matter because the things that you're going to be doing in her normal form are going to be high tier, very powerful breaks. For equipment selection, weapons, she has swords, daggers, great swords, katanas, and spears. Armor selection, hats, helms, clothing, light armor, and heavy armor there for you. So let's tackle her big normal form abilities that she gets as a Neovision character. The first one is an incredibly powerful skill, Blade of Singularity here. This is going to be her Grandis ability. You get to use this 2 times per battle here, and it's going to be an 85% attack, defense, magic, and spirit break for 4 turns to all enemies. And it's also a chain finishing skill with a 105 times multiplier there. But the most important thing about this skill is that it's the perfect type of dispel. It removes all buffs and only buffs from all enemies. This means that it's going to leave all of your your imperils, your breaks on it, all of that stuff, or all of your negative things on the boss are going to remain there. You're just taking off the positive buffs that the enemy has attached to itself here. Now we have Slashing Gale and Slashing Bolt. These are her Stardust Ray skills, 120% imperil. Slashing Gale's wind-based, Slashing Bolt is lightning-based. She also has access to Triple Twin Blade here, which is going to be her triple cast ability here, so you can go in there and cast all of her skills except for pressure, which doesn't matter at all. We have a cooldown skill, Bright Storm Flash. This is going to be her 130% imperils to lightning, wind, and light. The turn that you use this skill, and only that turn, to all enemies there. It also is a chain finishing mod of 95. Now we also have her first Brave ability we're going to be going over, Blade of Devotion. You definitely want to max this one out. It's one of her most powerful skills. It's going to help you do insane damage in her Brave Shift form as well. It's going to be Stardust Ray, non-elemental base, 94 times multiplier. But the other thing that it does do, it gives you a 4-turn buff of a 25 times multiplier increase to Blade of Devotion, as well as Blade of Ruin, Lightning Dance Blade, and Twin Dance Blade. So these are going to be some insanely strong things for you in Wind Dance Blade as well. The 25 times mod bonus is very powerful, and this does apply to this skill as well if you're trying to do damage in her base form. Her last skill that is a cooldown skill to talk about here is going to be Peerless Blade Shield Crusher, an incredibly powerful skill, 7-turn cooldown available on turn 1. It's an 85% attack, defense, magic, and spirit break for 3 turns to all enemies, but that is not all. It also is going to automatically recast this skill the next turn, the turn after that turn, and the turn after that turn as well. So you're going to be getting a 3-turn break right away, and then it's going to refresh it the next turn. Then the turn after that, it's going to refresh it again. So it's 3 turns. And then the turn after that, it's going to refresh it again for the 4th turn. And that final cast on turn 4 is going to last 3 turns as well. So it's going to last an incredibly long time. If the boss is cleansing itself, it's reapplying itself, this break just lasts pretty much forever. It's insane. You can use this skill, Brave Shift, do a bunch of damage, come back, reapply the skill, Brave Shift, do a bunch of damage, come back. And if you needed some on-demand breaks, she also has Blade of Ruin here, which is her other Brave ability. That's an active Brave ability in this form. It's an 87 times mod, chain finishing. It also is an on-demand 80% attack, defense, magic, and spirit break for 4 turns to a single target. Now, as far as passives go, for her Neovision form here, she has Bonds of Knighthood, which gives her 100 MP and a 52 times multiplier increase to a lot of her old skills there. The only super notable one is Tempest Flash, because it's her Aurora Ray chaining frame family skill. So if you're using her to Aurora Ray chain for some reason, this might help you out there, although it's not that big of a deal, because you're going to probably be doing that in Dark Visions if you're using her for Aurora Ray, but you probably won't be anyway. Also, that Aurora Ray skill is lightning and wind locked. We also have an Instructor of Knights here, which is going to be 40% attack, 30% defense and spirits, as well as 20% HP and MP, and 50% true dual wield. So that's the new form of Loren here. A lot of on-demand breaks, some imperils, 120% on demand, 130% for the burst damage turn if you so desire. And then we're going to be taking a look at her Brave Shift form. So the Brave Shift form here, as we go in, is where a lot of your damage is going to be coming from. She still has triple twin blade here, which is going to be her triple cast. Once again, she still has access to Blade of Ruin, which is the on-demand breaks. She has Slashing Gale and Slashing Bolt still for the 120% imperils in this form as well. Then she also has a Bright Storm Flash still, which is the 130% on demand. For new skills though, we're going to start out with Twin Blade Dance. This is going to be her main damage dealing skill. Period, especially in her Brave Shift form, it's going to be a Stardust Ray Chaining Frame family skill. The first 9 hits is a 3.0 multiplier, and then that final hit is a 100 times multiplier. Remember, this skill also benefits from multiplier increases from the normal form skill, right? The Blade of Devotion, 25 times mod increase. This skill gets that too, but because this skill has it broken up into 2 different parts, each of these parts gets a 25 times mod increase. It's gonna be a 153 mod skill there. Now we also have Lightning Blade Dance and Wind Blade Dance. These are going to be Stardust Ray, and these are going to be doing either lightning damage or wind damage and imbuing yourself for that turn as well there. So you're going to be using these skills in conjunction with the Imperils in Twin Blade Dance to have that elemental damage bonus in her kit there. We also have Blade of Demolition here, which is going to be a single hit chain finishing Grandis ability in this form. 120 times multiplier to all enemies there. Kind of okay, but as you can see, the multiplier, it's going to be even lower than Twin Blade Dance, especially if you get to use this character as a limit burst. And then her final skill is the Supernova Blade Dance. This is going to allow you to get a 300% attack bonus for 5 turns, and it's also going to unlock Cyclone Blade Dance and Thunderstorm Blade Dance for 5 turns for you as well. We're going to go over those real quickly, and these are going to be 130% imperils that last for 3 turns to an enemy, as well as doing a 98 times mod chain finishing skill. Before we talk about her passives, let's talk about her limit burst here. Blade Waltz, 30 LB crystal costs, 5-hit skill, 125 times multiplier, and the most important part, another 15 times multiplier increase to her different dances, especially, most importantly, Twin Blade Dance. And remember, Twin Blade Dance is going to get a 30 times mod increase. So if you have this mod increase plus the mod increase of her normal form Brave ability, your burst damage is going to be 183 times multiplier. Very, very strong stuff for you there. Her passive selection here, her TMR ability is going to be 80% attack and 100% true dual wield. She has a very powerful Brave ability that you're going to want to level up to level 5 here. It's going to give her 100% Aqua Stone and Undead Killer, and also just give you a free 500 attack on top of everything else. This isn't 500 base attack. That'd be incredibly broken. It's just free 500 attack at the end of the day, slapped on top of everything that you have from passives and gear, materials, accessories, all of that stuff. Just 500 free attack there. She's going to be in this form true dual wield because she does get up to 150% true dual wield. That being said, she does not have the 6 times multiplier cap. So when the build video comes out for this character, if you have all of the stuff to do a crazy, insane, true double hand build, you will actually be able to do insane damage if you have all of that gear. Tremendously crazy damage, probably like over 6,000 attack. You can get killers in there still and just get in there and wear a variance weapon to kind of outweigh the fact that she doesn't have the 6 times mod cap. You can use her like a traditional true double hand character. That being said, she still does incredibly strong damage even without the 6 times mod cap in this form due to just the high amount of multipliers that she has. 183 times mods. Very, very, very strong stuff. On top of that, she does have a decent amount of attack passives and defense and spirit passives. Remember that 80% attack passive from her own TMR being equipped is fantastic. Also, that TMR gives you 15% attack for 2 different weapon types. So if you're using like a katana and like a great sword, or a sword and a great sword, you're gonna get 30% from that as well. So having her TMR on is gonna give you 110% attack and 100% true dual wield. It's fantastic there. So she's pretty easy to gear up. She has some of the more rarer killers in the game, aqua monsters, stone monsters, and then undeads. Not the most uncommon, but she has access to that as well. And she does have 50% LB damage bonus as a passive. That being said, she's not primarily an LB damage bonus character. And speaking of her limit burst, you can feel free to leave it at level 1, because at max level it's 125 times mod. At level 1 it's 119.2 times mod. It is not worth leveling up there for you guys. Now, how good is Loren? Should you be going out there and just getting her? She's my current favorite breaker in the game, period, just because of the amount of offensive damage that you can do with her. If you think of her less as a breaker that can do damage and more of a damage dealer that can do insane breaking potential and insane imperils, that'll give you a better idea of Loren. Now, because that's just how much damage that she can do. She's more of a damage dealer that just happens to have high tier, on-demand, repeatable, spammable, perfect dispel breaks. She's just that good. She's a fantastic character, so if you have some of them laying around, definitely fuse them together. She's worth the guild cost. She's maybe worth, she's worth some UoC tickets. She's worth, a random Omni Prism that you have laying around. She's just that strong, especially if you don't have any breaker at all whatsoever. She's like the most offensive breaker character that we have right now. Obviously, if you have someone like Vaughn's thing is that he has the mirages. Loren's going to have just tons and tons and tons of damage in comparison to a lot of these other breakers that we do have access to. On top of the fact that Loren has the free, repeatable breaking potential, it gives her all that time to do damage as well. That's how powerful that normal Brave skill is here in her, or not her Brave skill, but her cooldown skill in her normal form that she gets from being a Neovision character. This one, the 7-turn cooldown, just spams out repeating breaks. That's insane. You just pop that thing, and then you imperil, you pop that thing, and you just leave. We'll have a lot of cool stuff for the build guide for you to do and for us to go over. A lot of weird ways to build here, so you can make sure that you're getting that limit burst off right away on turn 2. You're going to spend turn 1 imperiling and breaking. Turn 2, you're going to limit burst in your Brave Shift form, and then you're going to pound out massive burst damage for the next couple of turns, and it's going to be a good time. So hopefully this helped you guys out there who are on the fence about Loren. This is what she's about. Obviously, she also has a fantastic Brave Shift sprite. Until then, guys, stay safe, have fun. Thanks for joining us. If you want to see more, you know where the channel is. Notification button. If you don't click that, you're not going to find the channel ever again. We're going to get lost into the void. But until then, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.